The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
About you, but you Christ I can do all. Stand up tall with my left foot, post up on the wall. Easy if we fall in the streets, life can get hard. Streets used to be a lot different from what man recall. Me a aim for my post like a soccer ball. Feel run the road that don't need a map at all. Babylon them want to hold me with a strap at all. But man a liar, me no Cancer nor Capricorn.
Though they want to see me fall, I'm gonna be okay. Though my back's against the wall, I'm gonna be okay. They fighting me now, I'm gonna be okay. Jehovah eyes are watching me now, I'm gonna be okay.
Welcome to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we got Atiba, a.k.a. Blacus Ninjah. What up? Yes, man. Blessed. So let them know where you're from and, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I was born in Montreal, MDG area, and I came to the Toronto, Jane Finch area around when I was about 6 or 8, around that time. So I've been around there ever since, and it's been my home. And before the music, we were repping Jane and Finch, you know what I'm saying? When we were in Fir Grove, and that's the elementary and then high school and all those stuff. So it's just that it's just been a part of me. So obviously my music has just reflected my lifestyle,
reality.
My community.
All right. We're going to get into a little bit more, but we're going to go to a video. Check it out. Hope in the Six.
Yeah, Incubator Studios, Silent Assassin. We got Stay on the engineer, Gin on the beat. Tag team's crazy. Take a good look at me, Blacus Ninjah. A lot of people talking this and that, but let me explain who I really am. Listen, I'm the future and the past. I'm the first, I'm the last. I'm the hustler and the pimp. I'm even the dirty cash. I'm even the dirty cop that planted that dirty mash. I'm even what the politicians call the dirty trash at the same time. I'm the ras with the task to teach the mass. From stop getting lash, I'm the fire and the gas, explosion and the blast. I'm the truth, I'm the question that they afraid to ask. I'm the night, I'm the light, I'm the struggle, I'm the fight. I'm the revolutionaries locked up doing life. I'm the one that got you knife. I'm the message, I'm the kite. I'm the one my lawyer like. The heavy charges pay hike. I'm the type to rip up the mic. Cool your hype, make you right. Don't need to be in the way for flow to be out of sight. But you the type to run your mouth like a motorbike. Everybody know your book is worse than your bite. What you say, what your name is? Blacus Ninjah. What kind of name is that? The kind you always remember. What's the zone that you bang? Jane and Finch represent us. We can do it how you want it. Call it all pretenders.
Yes. Blacus Ninjah. My name is. So I want to say it was bars on that. I'm an artist myself, so I look for lyrical content. You know what I'm saying? And I don't gas people up. I just not talk about it instead of, what I'm saying?
You're like, how are you? Were you good? Like, yeah. And I like the beat.
Yeah, I would just not talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But bars, lyrical. My name is. So Blacus Ninjahs. Tell me about that. Blacus Ninjah. Where did the name come from?
Blacus is it's an acronym, and it stands for basically black, lethal, and conscious under slavery. Never ignorant, never judging, always humble. And it represents me as a person, as a musician, and it also represents the kind of music I do, meaning in the sense that I'm not going to just be on one topic. I'll touch on different topics, different emotions, events, whatever. I'll be a true artist in the definition of that. Yeah.
So conscious under slavery. Give me a little bit more understanding of
conscious
that.
Under slavery. Well, a lot of people would argue that physical slavery hasn't gone anywhere, but this is more of a subconscious mental slavery or spiritual slavery, right? And some of us are still locked in this kind of bond. Some of us are trying to get out. Some of us don't even know that's going on.
Right.
So I'm just here to shed light on that and let you know that I am rebellious of that.
Okay, rebellious from the system, slavery type situation.
Yeah.
Okay, try to free up the men then.
Free up the man.
That's what I put on. That's what I put on my hashtag. Free up the men. Always want you to free up yourself, free up your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't, just because you're not literally incarcerated, and that's what the show is about. Pretty much those that are on probation or parole, who's incarcerated or is in the justice system, right? But not always you're gonna be locked down physically, but you could be locked down mentally. You know what I'm saying? And I always say the ghetto is not where you're from, but it's where you're at mentally.
Definitely.
Because a lot of ghetto places, you know what I'm saying? I lived at Jane and the way they call it the ghetto when I first landed in Toronto. They say it's the ghetto, but I seen a lot of nice people there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, what's ghetto? Ghetto is how you think and how you act. Like, that's ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really so free up the men is a mind thing, because you could be in the ghetto. I mean, Colin Powell, Secretary of State in U.S. A while back, he was from South Bronx, ghetto. But he came out, so he wasn't never ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to. So now we'll get into that a little bit more. But it's good. Blacus Ninjah, man. Welcome to the show, and we're gonna just let everybody know what you're about, because today's show is called "Let Me Speak." You know what I'm saying? So I want you to speak, because guess what happened? We have different guests. We have I had a police on here telling this story. You know, he was shout out to TP Swift, because he was a black cop, but he do a lot for the community. I want people to see people's side. Get your side of the story, because we can always hear stuff, but we don't get both sides, so we kind of judge and we're biased. So people, I mean, there are a lot of bad people on the street, you know what I mean, that need to be off the street, but there's also others that are not bad, but they look like me and you. You understand what I'm saying? And we're judged. So this is a platform where now everybody could now share their side. And I want you to speak, because you're from Jane Finch, and Jane Finch began a lot of flag. And with that said, I want to go into another video. I want you to comment on this one.
1% of their population are a big problem to not only the residents in TCHC, but the much larger communities. What I say by that is they're harboring, literally, all of these killers. They're harboring the drug dealers. They know they are, and they can't do anything about it because the courts won't let them evict. They call it the last place for these people to go. So if they evict, there's nowhere else for these people to go. I see it like spraying down a building full of cockroaches. The cockroaches are just going to scatter, right? Yeah. So start evicting them.
Yes.
Let them scatter, because their particular strength is when they're all together in a community like Jane and Finch.
Yep.
So my approach is going to be scatter them, evict them, get them out of Jane and Finch completely. And I also have a further one, David. I think we need to knock the buildings down completely and build into a mix. It's not fair to those residents to be segregated. They have been for the last 60 years. It's no wonder our little kids in those communities are growing up angry and killing people. We need them to mingle with the rest of society.
They are cockroaches, and I will take whatever punishment anybody has to give me for that. I want to protect my neighborhood from these people. I want them out, and I'm going to do everything I can to get rid of that element that's making life miserable for the good people in TCHC.
Well, there you have it, folks. I think Giorgio Mammoliti has stated his case. What Press Progress did, as I said earlier, was a drive-by smear. Councillor Mammoliti is correct. When you, as is Mayor John Tory, when you have gangbangers taking shots at children, when you have people, senior citizens, being shaken down for money, these people are sewer rats. They are cockroaches. And if you have a problem with that, I have another animal metaphor for you. I really don't give a rodent's rectum what you think.
Welcome back. So I want to talk about former council member Mammoliti of Toronto. You heard what he said about the cockroaches in the buildings right now. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know what? We're living in an internet age where, you know, attention is the new kind of drug, and it's unfortunate that somebody of his stature and his intelligence and his position of power would have these kind of perceptions of people in the community, misconceptions, as a matter of fact. And I think he's just trying to either fuel the fire or go out with a bang. But these are people we don't really take serious. But the only thing you should take serious is this thought that he came with, right? Because that means that he's been always thinking like that. And now he just basically had the courage or whatever to let it out. So it's unfortunate that a lot of people now that look like me may see people that look like him in the powers of position that he is,
Right,
will
right.
say, oh, he thinks just like them, right?
Right.
So he's just making it harder for other political people in his stature or after him to represent people like me that live in the community, that are there all the time.
It's so sad. We're gonna talk a little bit more about it, but we got to go to a break. Hope in the 6. Keep watching.
With so many newspapers within the community, it's sometimes hard to tell what separates us from the rest. Most of the time, they all brag about the same thing. You know, the large circulations, tons of online views, and it can go on and on. But what really separates the Toronto Caribbean newspaper apart from everybody else? Well, it's simple. Our service. No, seriously. Hi, I'm Grant Browning, founder and CEO of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. I have over 20 years of branding and marketing experience, and I've worked with countless companies and corporations to do one thing, and that is to raise their profits with their brand. With over 40 years of combined experience in branding and marketing, our amazing staff is fully prepared to sit down and figure out exactly what you need to stand out from your competitors.
The reason why you don't see us out anymore is because
the ad is too powerful, bring too much people.
So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll be happy to help.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Doing this for life. Easy Mac. Don't make it Blacus Ninjah. Go. They gave up on me, said I was lost. I thought they were real, but they all frauds. Imagine this prince amongst frauds. Couldn't handle the odds, they fed me to the dogs. Never burn your bridge, you might need to cross. I wanna be the boss, but you gotta pay the cost. I'm trying to cop a Porsche before I can become a corpse. In the struggle so long I forgot what I'm fighting for. To see a better future, our kids need more, but they can't see past the corner store. So my rhymes make their minds wanna soar over mountaintops to the seashores. Believe you can achieve, can't you see the shore? Don't forget, the pen mightier than swords, and knowledge is something we can all afford. So cock your ears and listen to this food for thought. You gonna make it through, who cares what's facing you? All you need is the right motivation to keep staying true. You'll make it through. Who cares what they've taken? We still ain't behaving like Joshua was up here to comfort you. When they come for you, you'll make it through. When they see my glow, they never wanted me to shine. I rose like a phoenix and they almost went blind. Ain't nothing changed, I'm still spitting hot lines. No matter on the bad mind, they can't stop the time. I'm just a sketch in Josh's grand design. How can I forget the ones that you left behind? Remember, life is a road with a lot of signs. I'm speeding on the highway without getting no fines. You should be proud of me, I went from crime to rhyme. But you doubted me, I had your back like a spine. Never thought you would throw me under the bus. Just when I was about to bust, I still laugh even when they put me in them cuffs. No matter what, freedom is a must.
Welcome back to Hope in the 6. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we have Blacus Ninjah. You know, we went to a break. We had, before that, we was talking about former city councilman Mamalidi. Yeah. And I know he's not in power right now, so it's not about taking shots at him. But the reason why we played that, when it first came out, it was viral and people commenting, but I never seen no coverage of it. And I want to talk about it a little bit. And it's not about him. So I'm not even, who cares? It's about the thought. And a lot of people that look like him in power, that's what they represent, saying these vicious slanders in regards to people in poverty or certain neighborhoods. Yes. So I want to ask you pretty much about knocking down these buildings and building it back up and mixing population far as rich and poor together. What do you think about that? Because they're doing that everywhere now.
Yeah, you know, well, I guess breaking down the buildings was a little bit emotionally driven statement he said, I think, because breaking down the buildings, unless it's like physically unsafe or something like that, is not going to change the situation. That's the first thing. I think mixing the population, which has always already been mixed, but I guess different tax brackets, different people of different financial statuses, it could be good, or it could work and it could not work. It could work if the government has other programs and they're trying to elevate the poor. You know what I'm saying? Make them at least come to a equal playing field as the richer people, because when richer people start coming in the community, inflation, everything already goes up already. Definitely. So, and you'll just ultimately end up just driving out the poor people into another area. That's right. So that's pretty much I want to understand, because in my personal perspective, I don't see how that could work, but hopefully it does, because that's what they're doing. But if you're rich and poor, don't go on the 7th floor. You know what I'm saying? You don't go on the 6th floor. Don't go on certain floors, because it's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? And then how does that work? And then people, got the good things and you don't have it. I think that's temptation. I think that promotes crime, because I'm looking at these people got money and I don't have it. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, hopefully it works, because let them do themselves. You know what I'm saying? But it seems just to
crazy.
touch on that, I don't think that it's. I think that it's gonna sound kind of messed up. I think it's kind of a trickery, kind of a regentrification kind of trick, because they make it sound
just selling
like,
it. Yeah, they're selling it.
Until ultimately you got like the whole building is full of people that are better financially off, and then the rent goes skyrocketed. Who else can afford that, right?
Well, they were saying they'll keep certain rent fixed, but here's my thing with that. I think because these Airbnbs, people going to these places. Now you got street cats going there already, and one of my youth got shot there. You know what I'm saying? So they bringing that stuff to like rich neighborhoods anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I mix in. You know what I mean? I don't know how that can work, but I guess we have to pray that out, because I definitely see some trouble with that. But I don't know the agenda. You know what I'm saying? Because speaking on former councilman, I hear he's now in the legal cannabis business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because he said a lot of things. He
was cursing the gangsters. Trying to get money from the
for the business, same business that they were doing. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. Also, this is shots fired. Now, earlier I said I'm not shooting fire, because it was just about. But specifically, this is a shot fired. I have to say that. He was saying that they should use the soldiers to like go in the hoods and like put like some war. Like, I mean, this. Wow. We have to be careful of that. And that's why I want you on the show to speak. I want people to hear your perspective, and see like, yo, it's not just like that. So with that said, I want you to take me in the life of Jane Finch. Give me a typical day.
A typical day of Jane Finch, depending on who you are and the age group that you're in. It's just getting up, going through the community, either going to work or going to the mall or going to the corner store, just really hanging around the immediate community where you're at. You may go play basketball, you might, go shopping, you might just go for a walk or a jog or something like that. But it's like, to say what's a typical day, when I was younger, I would have probably woke up and went about my day in about a different way as I am now as a younger father and stuff. Yes. But with that being said, I still feel that Jane Finch is the best place for me personally, and for my children, or just that community, because it has everything that I need that's right there. And, and you can also get a sense of a family loving kind of vibe still, regardless if the streets seem to be hotter than usual.
Right. Yeah. So, because you know what, the reason why I asked the question, because people just think, oh my God, it's just bad and just gunshots and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, I don't want them to just hold that in their mind, because that's what, Jane Finch, don't go there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I first moved, because when I came from New York, I was at Trethewey and Jane, and people were saying how people don't go on certain blocks and they'll come around. But when I was there, I just loved it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Stuff happened, but I'm used to bad happen everywhere in the world. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So I just loved it, because it did remind me of the city. You know what I'm saying? It had all the culture, the West Indian culture right there. It was just everything to me. And I love it. Stores is walkable. Everything was just like lovely to me. Yeah. And when I passed by there every now and then, I just smile still. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But people would be like, oh my God, and you got out the hood and all that. It's such a, I think it's a miscommunication, analyzation perspective. I think it's just,
definitely. I think it's a made miscommunication, a made perspective. Yes. So like, because people that never been to that community or just hear about it, all they have is the news paper clippings, and all they have is the hearsay, and they have now they have people that like this guy who was in power, living there, saying that we're cockroaches as well. So he's just perpetuating the stereotype and the stigmas.
It's so crazy, but I want to talk about music a little bit. We're going to talk about it a lot, but I'm just getting into it a little bit, warming up. You did Made It Through was your video, right?
Yeah, Made It Through was my video.
What inspired that?
I recently came home, and that was my first video. Try to jump back in the game.
Okay, so you came home from because clarity, and not everybody understand.
Oh, I had a small little prison stint.
Okay.
My life has not always been candies and sun and flowers and stuff like that. You know, I made a lot of wrong decisions, hung out with a lot of the wrong kind of crowd.
What were you charged with?
I was charged with drug trafficking and gun possession or gun trafficking.
So how do you bounce back from that to make a video, make it through?
Well, you know what? Prison for me was a rebuilding, rejuvenating time. I had a lot of time for myself and a lot of internalizing. And what I did was I went in there with the mindset that I'm going to be a better person and I'm going to change the way I do things and who I hang around and how I govern my energy. So it was really of a kind of a schooling for me. But not to say that everybody needs it. Some people don't need it. Sometimes it cracks people, even kills people at times, you know, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But for me, I knew within myself that I wasn't going to be there for that long. At least I hoped I wasn't going to be there for that long. And I tried to use it for a building. So I wrote a lot of lyrics. Okay. Wrote a screenplay. Wrote so much things, read so much things. So, you know, I use it as a building block.
Okay, that's powerful. Because a lot of people get locked up and they become spiritual. They become closer with God. But when they come out, it's hard to maintain. So I definitely want to understand how you stuck. I got a lot of youth write me or they come see me. Oh, Eddie, when I come out, one guy called me as soon as he got out. I'm coming to church. Never made it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
and now he's back in, unfortunately. Yes. So I'm just saying, how are you able to just keep it up and stay out of that?
I think I'm just blessed to have a lot of support. You know, I have a strong family. I have a lot of people that looked out for me prior and still looked out for me when I was going through my situation. And I think it takes some maturity too, you know, a lot of self-analysis, you know, really looking at yourself, really looking what's good for you, what's better for you, who is good for you. And it depends what kind of person you are, period, especially in prison. I mean, like, I think we were talking about the other day, you know, there's two kinds of people. There's the big pit bull and then there's a little chihuahua jumping around. Right. So who are you? Are you the chihuahua or the pit bull? Right. And like, I'm neither, but I'm definitely not the chihuahua. You know what I'm saying?
All right, with that said, we got to go to a break. We'll be back. Hope in the 6. Let me speak.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true. Happy birthday to you.
refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community.
Welcome to Hope in the 6. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez.
We are the North. We are the strong and free. Love is our symphony. The city beats inside of me. Lift every voice. Let it be heard and seen. Love is our symphony. Toronto beats inside of me.
My name is Shola Olamokba. I'm the founder of Directed Life, and I'm Hope in the 6.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm the Street Youth Services lawyer, and I am Hope in the 6.
Police Constable Dale Smith, aka Smith, and I am.
My name is Jason Farkason, and I'm a youth worker, and I am Hope in the 6.
Check it, I am Hope in the 6.
I'm Cameron, and I'm Hope in the 6. My name's Ramsey, and I'm Hope in the 6.
We are Toronto, united we stand hand to hand. Let's go, go,
Welcome back to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez. I know you probably like, yo, what's up with the jumpsuit? You know, this is for those that are locked up. Okay. So every now and then I read a news article from prison. It's called Cell Count. So they write in the article, and I read it on the show. Or inmates from prison or jail, they write me, and I read their letter. This is to kind of humanize people. Because when I read the letter, I want you to see them and try to feel their emotions. You know what I'm saying? This is real. This show is as real as it gets. I'm not to toot my own horn, but this is the realest show out there.
Yeah, like, you know, I had some flashbacks. I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on here? So, but yeah, it's real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to. So this is from. Shout out to Ammo. This is from Lamar Skeet, and he wrote me a letter before. Free ammo, man. Yeah. So first and foremost, thank you for broadcasting my situation on your platform. Myself and everyone involved in getting me out. Appreciate your kind gesture, allowing my story to be heard. Second of all, I would like to apologize to the viewers for the use of the infamous N-word. My first letter you read last month. I was unaware how professional the platform actually was. I was under the impression the show was an underground hip-hop outlet about news going on in Toronto. Therefore, the use of the controversial word would have been relatable and acceptable. However, if my language offended anyone, that was not my intention, and I'm asking for your forgiveness. Shout out to Ammo. He don't need to be asked for forgiveness, but I want to read it because that's his heart. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. He like, yo, this is, I didn't realize it's professional. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So shout out for that, but you good? I don't use the N-word because it's derogatory, and I don't feel like embracing that. I did when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, yo, let's build up. When I talk to my brethren, I say, King, welcome, King, bless King. Definitely. I build you up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can't misinterpret King. Yeah, you can't. You understand what I'm saying? So we kind of change it up. You know what I'm saying? We trying to change it up. But you know, in the letter he continued to state, I was charged with first-degree murder in 2010. I was found guilty by an all-white jury in 2012 due to bias evidence. The trial judge allowed them to hear. My entire trial was a miscarriage of justice. Wrongfully convicted through mass communication. After my conviction, I immediately filed for an appeal. The rule to an appeal is simple. If the Court of Appeals find that the trial judge erred, the appellate should be entitled to a new trial. In 2017, the Court of Appeals agreed with my lawyer that the trial judge did in fact make a mistake. However, I am still held in captivity. After my appeal was rejected, the next step in the legal process is Supreme Court of Canada. In order to have a case heard in the Supreme Court, Canada's highest court, you need an issue of national importance. As I wrote in my first letter, because he's kind of reiterating some of the things, LA Times published an article about my exact situation. Supreme Court refused to hear the case. Let's remember that there was no evidence heard in the court. The application for evidence to be heard was refused. Whoever refused it turned down the opinions of academic commentators and disrespected the North American hip-hop culture as well as the black community. At the juncture of legal process, it gets even more narrow. So narrow that a lot of solicitors will claim there is nothing else that can be done. I spoke to a few lawyers and they said, oh, sorry, because I'm trying to help them, you know, let it be heard and whatever. They said, I'm sorry, we can't do nothing. This is it. So he's saying that's what they will say because they don't know there's a little loophole, but he said it get narrow. So most people will automatically say it's done. They didn't hear it, they won't hear it. So he said, however, in section 6961 of the criminal codes reads quite differently. I highlighted the important segments of the section. Read highlighted part. So I'm gonna just go to that. But shout out to him because he's doing his homework. Yeah, definitely. Because people will tell you a lot of things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They will say, oh, you can't win this, you know what? But you got to know that within yourself, hey, listen, if I'm innocent, I'm going to fight to the death. So shout out to Emma for fighting. So he's like, listen, they said this, but here's what I'm going to say to you in regards to that. So section 6961, all right? This is applications for ministerial review, miscarriage of justice. So I'm just going to read what he highlighted. Cross references. The remedy under this section is only available after the offender has exhausted all other remedies. So this is now for those who exhausted everything. They denied it. You did everything, and boom, you're here. Now this is what you're going to do. So it says, these provisions also authorize the governor in council to grant a free or conditional pardon or order of relief for any penalty, fine, or forfeiture pursuant to 532 of the Supreme Court. And it goes on furthermore, but he gave me a lot of stuff, but I can't read everything. But he is right. There is some ways out, and in particular, there's a thing called Innocence Canada. So after you go all of this and you have been rejected, for you to qualify for Innocence Canada, you have to exhaust all the other options. So, and it have to be of national importance, as he said in the letter. So shout out to Emma for doing your homework. My opinion doesn't reflect the organization I work for. You know what I'm saying? Because they be like, oh man, we don't, you know, I have to say that. But I'm entitled to my opinion. Definitely. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And in my personal opinion, I think this guy is innocent, because who go to this unless he's crazy? You know what I'm saying? And I spoke with him, spoke with his wife. I don't think they're crazy. You know, free up ammo, I would say it as well. And I'm gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you have the facts there and you have the basic opportunity to let the facts be heard, and they're not letting that be heard, that's definitely a miscarriage of justice, right? Like you're not being represented in the country that you were born in.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, but I could understand. I mean, I don't understand it, but boy, I could imagine how hard this is and how he feels. You know, I spoke to him. You know, what I mean, I talk to him every now and then. He give me a call or whatever, and we talking. Hoping the Six is about like letting it be out. And I told him, I said, listen, I help me personally with the whole program that I do. I help people that have records and that are guilty. Mm-hmm. Guilty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How about a man saying he's innocent? Like, I feel like I definitely
I want to touch on that. I have an uncle in the UK that like about 20 years ago, he was mommy, I'm telling the story. You don't know, moms. He was convicted of rape and murder, and it was in Cardiff. It's called like Cardiff 3, right? And him and 2 other guys were convicted, and he was found guilty, and he did like over 19, 20 years, and then after when DNA came out, they found that he was innocent, and they freed him up. Right. But look, could you imagine sitting down for 20-something, 19 years saying, yo, I didn't do it, going through that, whatever they went through, and then boom, end up being free, you know? So it's like, if you have a chance to fight for your freedom, regardless if you're in the UK or you're in Canada, fight for it.
Fight for your freedom. That's your freedom. That's your life, man. You got to speak up for yourself. We got to go to Bars for Bars at this moment. So over to Jason Fresh, Bars for Bars.
Okay. Drop some bars.
No, not for you. It's just a segment.
I'm ready for the bars, though.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jason Fresh, part of the Hope Team. This is Bars for Bars, and we got Jay Breezy.
I cannot screw my head on straight. There's a lot on my plate. Look up to God, Lord, show me my fate. Trying to do good till I meet the gates. Trying to do good till I meet the heaven's gates. Got so many demons, it's just hard to stay focused. Seen her back, and I told her just to hold this. Had to be a man early, so I could protect my mama Shirley. Don't care if I see them gates so pearly. See my mama crying with no money, little food. So I told her, I'ma do what I gotta do. I remember late nights praying to God, but he ain't listen. Now I'm sitting here older, just reminiscing about the people that are missing. So I put my pain in this rap. Won't be a cussy smoking cane, I ain't that jit. So Lord, can you just answer mine? Can you answer? Lord, can you answer my prayers?
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Let me know about your idea when it comes to music nowadays, and just your thoughts about like just the content. You know what I mean? Because right now everybody's just on this whole wave about just being strapped, shoot 'em up. This whole concept, like, there's so much different things they could be rapping about. You know?
I think that it's unfortunate that the topics are just focused on one area that's so unproductive. But you know, you're an artist. I should say no, but you're an artist. You should be able to sing or rap or do any kind of genre because like your art, you represent your art form. And a lot of artists think that because I rap like this, I'm a rapper, or I sing about this, I'm this particular kind of artist or singer. And it's like they're bottling themselves, they're blocking themselves, they're stopping opportunity for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because you never know what could come out of, like, you have a gangster song and you get 5,000 hits, and then you sing a song about, I don't know, books or something, you get 5 million hits, right?
Yeah.
So what do you want to do this for? Are you doing this for yourself, or are you just doing this for the artistry in itself, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of internalizing that they got to do. And to be an artist, it comes with a lot of maturity. There's a lot of fly-by nights. There's a lot of people that see something hot, they want to jump on it, and that wave makes a lot more people, and you kind of mix up the true artists with the people that I just want to jump on the wave.
Yeah.
And usually the wave jumpers have the finance to back them, so it's like it gets in a gray area, but just like light in the dark will always shine through. So the true artists will always shine through. And I personally feel that this mumble rap, this kind of rap that we're listening to right now, is gonna fade out.
Welcome back to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and we got Blacus Ninjah. Bless up, brethren. You know, so I want to shout out Jason Fresh for that bars for bars. Okay. So now, remember I told you about reading the letters?
Yeah.
And now that's a youth on the outside now, and they do a little bars for. I gotta get you on bars for bars too.
Definitely,
you know what I'm saying? Because we're shouting at them, you giving them like some message or something, you know. So in and out and in. It's all about community, and that's what we're trying to do, you know. But I wanna talk about this video because you're a musician. I want to get into that. Of course, we went to talk about Jane Finch and where you're from and the streets and a little bit of politics. But as an artist now, according to the video, you and Jason Fresh, you were talking about like content and stuff like that. Talk to me about content and as an artist, what's your opinion on an artist?
Well, I think content is very important, and diversity of content is important because. Like I was talking before, I don't know if they mentioned it. There was a time Bow Wow and Soulja Boy was hot, and they were just the hottest things, and everybody was on them. You had to pay hundreds of thousands to get Bow Wow down here.
Right.
Now nobody's on them, and it's not that their music changed.
Right.
It's just that the times changed, their listeners matured, everything changed, and I think that a lot of people need to, especially young listeners, they need to realize that just because you like this now doesn't mean you're gonna like it 10 years from now. And the best thing you should do is always attract yourself with energy that's progressive, because at the end of the day, it's like you're you're cursing yourself in a way, right? So if you're listening to something that, like, every day you're listening to this, eventually there's going to be a anger seed or an anger growth inside you. So I think you, as an artist, I think you need to have diversity, and you need to speak of different things, even topics that make people uncomfortable other than gangsterism. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like spirituality, or even relationships, or all these different, many different topics out there. You can
as me as an artist too, 'cause I work with Freedom of All Youth and the program, probation and parole and all that. So you'd heard me and say, yo, you're fire, but your content. He's like, nobody don't want to hear what you're saying now. Like we're a different generation. I said, listen, Bridget, if I'm an artist, I can make anything hot because I'm an artist. Definitely. You understand what I'm saying? So, and one reason I want you on the show, because a lot of artists don't know how to articulate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want you on the show and let them let talk. Like, yo, but you're older, so you probably have more maturity. But I do want to press that message on. Like, listen, articulate yourself.
Yeah, because when I was younger, listening to hip hop artists, unfortunately at that time, there wasn't an artist my age that I could listen to. So we were forced to listen to older people. So listening to that made us a little bit more mature, made us having to, when you want to write, you can't just write ABC bars, you know what I'm saying?
You need a dictionary,
you know what I'm saying? You need to drop some metaphors and similes and all this kind of stuff. So it made us understand the English language, even dissect it and make up words and stuff like that. Now it's like that hunger for information or intelligence it's kind of dumbing down, and people just care about what they see or how a beat sounds, or how, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I personally feel that this kind of stage of music is just a stage, and I think that it's gonna evolve to something bigger and better, because as you can see right now, they can only hold on to that kind of vibe so long, right? Lyricism has to come back.
So now what you're saying, what you mentioned about the two artists, Soulja Boy and Bow Wow or whatever. So now, I mean, they're older as well. You know, you start off young and then they get older and things change. But as you, as an older guy, you know what I'm saying, how do you connect with the demographic today or the population today? You know what I'm saying?
And that's a good question. I think that I really don't try to force myself to connect with the population. I just try to do whatever I want to do in regards to making the music. I like a beat, I have a concept, I have a topic, I'm gonna drop it. There may be times where I may rap about topics or circumstances or scenarios that may be similar to what's going on, but I'm always going to be able to do my kind of flow and drop a jewel here and there, and that's just for me personally, like I would do. So like it doesn't really matter to me, because at the end of the day, you could have the hottest song, but we step in, we do a freestyle or we step in thing, and you know your talent is gonna show.
Right. Yeah. So it is challenging, but for me and to the response to the youth, like I said, I told them, man, if I'm an artist, I gotta make anything hot. Definitely. I can make you want to drink Sprite. You know what I'm saying?
I don't drink Sprite.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So an artist can make it. You creative. You're lyrical. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna put a little bit of your lyrical to the test still. You know what I mean? We're gonna get you up in a few minutes, but I just want to really just cover the artistry. I want to what would you tell a young youth today about their lyrics? You know what I mean? Because really, we were moving into a dance era. The Atlanta artists kind of made it back dancing. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But then it kind of go back to the gun now. Everybody talking about, I got 1 million shooters. You know what I mean? Like, get. I mean, that's,
you shooting.
You know what I'm saying?
That's an army. Bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's why that guy was like, get the army out on them. You know? But for real, like, what are we talking about? What is the message? Because you talking about shooting. Who you gonna shoot? Somebody that look like you?
Yeah.
What are we going? So I do think we need to stand up and kind of make a difference. And I'm trying to push it, but we can't do it by ourselves. Like we need a lot of artists saying, yo, I'm gonna be lyrical without promoting the violence and all these negative image, because that's how you know the movie, that's how they see us. You know what I'm saying? The innocent guys, almost like Lamar, locked up for false charges and then they get out. But how they see us. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to strengthen that view. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to strengthen that perspective. So we got to change up. But you got anything to say in regards?
Yeah, you know, just to touch on that, like I don't think artists should just be focused on one kind of topic, because I think you're boxing yourself in, and you're boxing your artistry, and you're really not exploring the limits of what you can do. Right? You're setting limits on yourself. Right. And you're even setting limits on your bank. Because now you're stopping other people that would like a different kind of sound. So I think if you're an artist and you're true at that, you have to be artistic. If you're just somebody here to make money or opportunist, then that'll just wither away with.
How can people connect with you on social media or any whatever platform? How they can find your music or whatever?
Well, you know, my music is all on every platform, iTunes, Tidal, and everything. I have my first album. I have a couple new singles, different kind of vibe, but you don't know, it's always still creative and artistic. Okay. And I'm growing. I'm an artist. That's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm growing.
Definitely growth. That's what it is. Because a lot of people say certain things. Jay-Z says certain things, but now you have so you grow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I want you to drop some bars before we leave. So
before we leave?
Yeah. So before we close, we're coming down. I want you to just let them hear it.
Let me try something. I'll be like, my ego's my protector. My soul is my detector, my mind is my universe, my spliff is my scepter. Hell is on earth, but heaven's in my center. I've been this way ever since the placenta. I'm not a pretender, I am a light bender. Born in March, but I was named in December. So when I was young, you see my energy show. Then I grew up, you watch my energy grow. So one thing I know is about energy, yo, and the way that you move, I think your energy low. Yo, you talking about gats. Talking about Megatrons, or trying to get out this cube they call a Metatron. You better know my flow is never gone. When it comes to this rap-ish, boy, I'm like a megadon. Weather storms, faster than Mayweather arms. Drop bombs like Vietnam and Viet Cong. So what you know, my rhymes is like a psalm. I'm the calm and the storm.
Blacus Ninjah. Your rhymes is like a psalm, you know. Bless up, positivity, free up the men them. Bars for bars, those locked up, you know, mentally or physically. Hoping to 6, thank you for watching. Blacus Ninjah, let me talk. Bless.
Peace.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I'm gonna be okay. I will fear no evil that will my rod and my staff. I'm gonna be okay. Thou preparest a table before me in front of my enemies. I'm gonna be okay. Thou anointed my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. All on my shoulder, I'm a soldier, thought I told you. Run with Jehovah, so nobody can test. Every day of my life, I'm blessed.